All right, how's it going, everybody? We have a large announcement today. It's Ecom Tommy here with Jason.
What's up, guys?
And we did a giveaway. For those of you that did not know, we did a Valentine's giveaway. Anybody that had bought our course at a discount for the last, what was it, week?
Yeah,
8
last
days
8
now.
days, yep.
Did get put into this giveaway, and we do have a hat down here on the ground that Jason will pull up. So in the meantime, before we get to that, there's a bunch of names in here. You know, say who you are, where you're from in the comments down below.
Let us know if you guys can hear us too. We had some audio issues.
We did have an audio malfunction
but
about 2 minutes ago, so hopefully everything is good here, but it does seem decent. So, you know, with that being said, we do have a PowerPoint for you guys on the best items to be drop shipping in 2020 on eBay. It's the ones that Jason and I, are the categories that Jason and I have seen the most success with. So if you do like the idea of this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up so we can get it out to as many people. And without further ado, let's get into this raffle or giveaway. Basically, whoever wins is going to get $500 cash. So if you bought the eBay course, then you'll end up paying for your whole eBay course and getting $200 spending. And if you bought the Amazon course, then you have $3 extra left over and you get a free one-on-one. But whoever wins gets a free one-on-one no matter what. With me,
free one-on-one
it's
date
1 hour,
Tom,
it's a date, it's a post-Valentine's Day date. So
you can't put a number on the value on that.
So,
all right, guys, just to show you that I actually did print all these out old school. You can see all of them in here. I think there's 36 or 38 contestants. So I'm just looking right now. I'm pulling the one out. Okay, here we go. And the winner is Giselle Valdez. So if you're watching right now, let us know if you're watching right now. You are the winner.
With Giselle.
So congratulations, and you can use that one-on-one coaching pretty much whenever.
Yeah, just let me know if you're watching this. Let me know, and you know we'll contact you via email because we have your email because you sign up for the course. And congratulations. So anybody that did not win, I mean, next time we are most likely going to be doing the same thing. It seemed like a lot of people were interested in the giveaway. So if you didn't win, you know, don't get down on yourself. You did get an amazing course, and also, you know, you're here to learn about the best items to be drop shipping on eBay in 2020. These items could be on Amazon as well, mostly. So it doesn't really matter. We're going to get into the PowerPoint right now. But first off, let's just see. We had Donald Smith. I wanted to thank Donald Smith because somebody was saying, "Who cares?" on this live earlier. I forget the name of the person. Christopher King, that was his name. He was being a hater, and Donald Smith stuck up for me and said, "I care and appreciate everything." So Donald wasn't just talking to himself, but I deleted the comment from the other guys. So,
awesome. So let's just real quickly see who's in the house. We got Louise Kleiner. He's in the house. We got Skepsy. Says nice. We got a whole bunch of people. John R. Ducey says he's ready. Jameson
Griffith here on every single one.
We got a whole bunch of people in here. We got Wags. Okay, we got some questions. We'll get to those questions too. And if any questions come up while we're doing this short presentation for you guys, go ahead and throw those into the chat box and we'll get to them after. But right now, we're going to go over the most profitable and best-selling niches and categories that Tom and I have seen on eBay. I'll start this off.
So we got to go over here. This is the first slide, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll go to camera and desktop, and here we are inside. So the first one's going to be business and industrial, and Jason will introduce it. I'll take out the pointer.
Okay. All right, guys. So business and industrial. This kind of goes goes hand in hand with the dad niche. I like to call it the dad niche. Business and industrial is a lot of these types of products that we have listed out here. So parts and pieces, a lot of times there'll be replacement parts for some type of motors or some type of, you know, tools that you're using. Chemicals is actually one of the niches that I've sold very, very well in both Amazon and eBay. Those things sell like hotcakes. You wouldn't have, you know, probably a lot of people out here wouldn't believe how well those things sell. Methanol, isopropane, butane. There's so many different.
Legal it is to be selling those.
Well, the
types of
thing
chemicals.
is that you introduce a whole level of complexity when you're drop shipping chemicals because some of them have hazmat fees and they have to be handled accordingly by UPS. I think is one of the only companies that deals with hazmat items and they can't be shipped via air. So there's a level of complexity to dealing with them, but there's a lot of profit to be made with chemicals. Also, restaurant equipment. I know Tom sold tons of restaurant equipment.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about restaurant equipment?
Yeah. So just to touch upon chemicals, it doesn't have to be big, like, you know, scary jugs of like 5-gallon jugs of chemicals like that you're gonna use in the laboratory either. You know, I put Fabuloso down there because that's what we used to use to clean our floors at our fraternity when we were in college, and that was a great scent. So, you know, it could be just cleaning supplies, adhesives of types. I've sold spray paint. There's been some issue with spray paint recently, not being able to go to California, so I kind of, you know, waned off of some of the spray paint and paint in general, but there is some paint that I can still sell. And then just processes. It goes for chemical processes or any type of process. Like you sell a lot of the valves, stainless steel tubing, fittings, any types of things like that.
Vacuum chambers, stuff stuff like that. It sells really, really well.
And then for restaurant, it would be tables, like prep tables, any type of anything for the restaurant, really. You know, you can have the fryers, the cutting boards, concession type things like popcorn machines, janitorial supplies, anything that's going to help run a business. And it's not just like, this is partially the dad niche, you know, like the parts and pieces, the screws, the nuts, the bolts, the fasteners,
equipment,
the electrical, the anything like that, the HVAC ducts and fittings and stuff. But it's also just, you know, businesses in general. Like you'd be surprised how many businesses, legitimate businesses, buy strictly off of, you know, off of Amazon and eBay. So I've sold literally to Dairy Queen before. I've sold to Goodwill before. Those are just ones that have come across. I've sold to Amazon themselves on Amazon many a times. So it's not just like you think that these are just small mom and pop stores that are buying these things. So then office supplies would be, you know, chairs, tables, I mean, just office supplies in general, paper, things like that. Any type of, anything could be used inside of an office. You know, you're going to have that. Shelving, you know, filing cabinets. And then we already went over the parts and pieces. That could just be anything between electrical, fasteners, tubing, metal, just sheets of metal, just any type of metal in general.
And guys, one of my favorite parts about business and industrial is the fact that you have a very low rate of return, and that's on both Amazon and eBay. These businesses need those products. They need them for whatever job they're using them for, and they're not going to be the type of people that just buy on impulse and want to return it. Their expectation is not to buy and return. Their expectation is to buy and use. So there's a lot more utilitarian value in this for them. So I've seen a much lower rate of return than a lot of other categories that I've sold in. So that's something that you guys should be aware of.
The only time you'll ever really get a return, besides it showing up completely mangled or damaged or whatever, would be if they had a project and they're like, oh, I needed this many sinks or something, and then they bought too many sinks. They're like, oh, had less sinks needed than I actually needed. Besides that, you won't get many, and then you can still hit them with like a restocking fee and stuff. Since they're businesses, they really seem to care a lot less and understand that that is kind of the cost of doing business.
Right.
So we're going to go into the next slide now, and the next slide is going to be home and garden. So this is a very, very, very wide range, and it's not everything I would say inside of home and garden is like okay to be selling. First off, with any of these brands or any of these, make sure that they're not Vero. I've seen that eBay's been getting a lot more strict with Vero violations recently, specifically if you have a newer store. So I've seen people with newer stores like getting banned for possibly 3 days or whatever if they get even one Vero violation. So first off, tools, there's going to be drills, even just like, you know, work speakers, like those big loud work speakers, hammers, wrenches, crowbars, pry bars, anything like that.
A lot of Home Depot, Lowe's types of items.
Yeah, any of those items are going to be good. Then, you know, there's going to be the kitchen, microwaves, pan sets, tableware sets. The only thing I would say with tableware sets is make sure that, you know, if you're getting just a bunch of like plates and cups and stuff, pottery type bowls or whatever, make sure that it's not like a completely breakable material that it's made out of.
Avoid glass at all costs.
Yeah, so that's also actually on one of the slides. And then there's going to be like yard and gardening, so leaf blowers. I've sold lawnmowers before, hedge trimmers, weed whackers, stuff like that. I mean, that's definitely in the dad niche.
Yeah, just avoid brands like Rigid, right?
Yeah, any brand that's Vero, I mean, just try to be sure to not only use the eBay Vero list, but also Vero Checker, which is a Chrome extension. It's $2 a month. Furniture, and then for furniture, we're cautioning large items here. You don't want to be selling. I mean, you can. With anything here that we're cautioning, because we do have a slide on what not to sell as well. You know, I'm sure there's people making a whole living off of these other categories that we're saying not to sell. But it's just if you're a beginner or if you want to limit hassle, just caution with these items. The larger furniture, you know, people have to put it together. I've had one piece of furniture before in the past that people didn't realize that the screws were in one spot, and they could, like, this one piece of furniture just kept getting returned, all because of the screws not being able to be found. Then you have to have FedEx go pick it up at their house. They have to go put it back in a box.
Yeah, or if it's shipped freight. If it ever gets shipped via freight, and usually big items like this could be shipped via freight, and sometimes the supplier's website doesn't tell you that it's being shipped freight until they've actually shipped it out, and it causes a big hassle. And you know, if you guys are trying to avoid hassles, or like Tom said, if you're a beginner and you want to just stick to, you know, sizable items, things that'll get shipped USPS and FedEx and stuff like that that aren't freight items, then I would avoid these big items.
Yeah, so you know what's going to fit in that category is like bar stools, chairs, any types of little furniture like that. I mean, I've seen futons do very well, but they do get into the bigger side of things, but they're not always freight. Cabinets, like bookshelves or anything like that. And then for the bathroom, I mean, just toiletries, rugs, cloths. I think I spelled cloths wrong.
Like hand
I
wash
said
towels
clothes,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Any type of toiletry.
Definitely
things.
not clothes.
I've literally sold tubs before, like the tub fit into like where your little like shower thing is.
Yeah.
The insert, I've sold that. So, you know, it could be anything home and garden related. There's a few things you want to stay away from, but
What's that microwave? Is that an RCA microwave?
yeah, it's just from Walmart.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure.
I feel like I've definitely seen that one before.
You might have had one at some point in time, honestly.
Yeah.
So then there's sporting goods. So do you want to get into sporting goods?
Yeah, so sporting goods, guys. Sporting goods sells really well on eBay, especially on eBay. You can see down at the bottom we have some tents. We have a boxing. It's like a boxing stationary boxing. Punching bag. I couldn't think of the word. And so camping, you know, things like tents, chairs, outdoor cooking equipment, a lot of that stuff is going to do really well. Some of it's seasonal, granted, some of it's seasonal, but you know, there are still people who still go camping, especially in the southern part of the United States in the winter and early spring. But camping equipment really does well in the fall and autumn months. So just keep that in mind. Hunting is kind of the same thing. So some of these are seasonal, like fishing. You know, people don't go fishing year round, but certain parts of the United States they do. With fishing, you're gonna have reels, rods, lures, stuff like that. Hunting, there's gonna be blinds, tree stands. I know you used to sell that one tree stand a ton back in the day.
The issue with those is a lot of them are very big, so you got to look out for shipping and return policies on them. And then other than that, there's gun storage. There's tons of gun safes on Walmart, on other suppliers that are out there. Those are very, very, very popular. I never expected those to be as popular as they are, but there's people selling tons of those.
Yeah, and you look at something like fishing, right? And a lot of people, either they don't have a local fishing retail store near them, or their small fishing retail mom and pop store near them is wicked expensive, very, very expensive, right? Because they don't have the type of the buying power that some of our suppliers that we're using online have. So you can actually get better deals and give better deals on eBay. So people are more likely to actually buy products like in the fishing niche on eBay than they would at their local store. That's just my opinion.
I've seen a store that's been literally all reels before. The whole store was just like that.
There's a bunch of wholesale suppliers too for fishing. But going on, we have water sports, which would be kayaks, canoes, paddle boards. There's a ton of new emerging water sports too. Some equipment and stuff that I've never seen before. They come out with stuff all the time
as well too. And there's also, you know, you could have like the water rafts or whatever getting pulled behind a boat.
Yeah.
The only thing with those is they're going to pop probably, and then they'll probably just return it or just say that it broke or something.
That's true. It's possible.
So I want to stay away from anything like that. Anything that seems breakable, I usually just try not to sell. And anything that has bad ratings at the supplier's website, definitely stay away from because it's clearly not good. So if you go to sell it on eBay, it's clearly not going to be good.
Right.
And then there's just indoor exercise type equipment. Some of it's pretty big. You know, Walmart has a lot of like the big actual like benches and other just like pool
tables and ping pong tables.
Well, that's true as well. Those are big. I mean, I've had success with that. Boxing like punching bags, dart boards, things like that. So that's pretty much it for the three main categories that we like to sell in. It all seems to kind of fall around what we call the dad niche or just outdoorsy type things, just industrial in general. You know, it's not as consumer, and it's really just about, you know, minimizing just errors that could possibly happen, minimizing returns, customer issues. You know, you want like a hardy product, I feel, like a product that's going to be able to withstand the shipping process.
That's very true.
So now we have a slide on what to stay away from.
Okay,
I didn't mean to keep clothing up there, just stay away from, and then, you know, there's three categories down here.
So I'll start this guys off for you. Clothing is something that I've stayed very far away from. I actually did a little bit of drop shipping from Amazon, you know, clothing stuff, and I had a lot of returns with that. It was not worth it. So it's got a huge high rate of return. There's a lot of abuse. Realistically, you're going to have a lot of abuse because what people will do is they'll buy more than they need and then return what they don't need. So for example, they might buy buy 5 shirts, return 4 of them, and keep 1. And that's going to end up hurting your metrics. And over time, it can end up actually making you have higher final value fees, as much as 5% higher final value fees. And that's just something that is intrinsic to selling those types of products. So if you could avoid selling those types of products, in my opinion, you probably should, because it's just gonna aggravate you and your VAs, and it's gonna hurt your bottom line.
Yeah, so the next category is going to be consumer electronics. I used to sell a lot of this, but over time, just with the issues that come with it, they're fragile. Things could break in the shipment process with electronics in general. What's the difference between like a cabinet, like a wood cabinet that's well built, and like a DVD player or something? It's like there's more things to break on the electronics, and there's going to be high rates of fraud. People like to steal them, or at least say it never came in the mail. And then there's usually limits with when purchasing them. If you're using Walmart and you've ever purchased a lot of like their tablets or mini computers and stuff, you'll realize that they usually limit you. Same thing with vacuum cleaners for some reason. I'm not sure why. But if you're getting limited when purchasing, you don't want to deal with those issues or have to create new accounts or come up with ways around the system. What we're trying to do here is have a consistent, all the time, this works, very little issue type business. And then other than that, it's going to be glass and other breakables. So just look at the item. Does it look like it could break? Read the reviews. Does it sound like it breaks a lot or very often? Mirrors, picture frames, anything like that. Like I said earlier, the glass plates or, clay pottery
Porcelain,
type things.
yeah, that stuff is definitely something you want to stay away from. And one thing I would like to add to this too, in conclusion, is anything that's in the gray. So those are products that could be something like paraphernalia, like smoking paraphernalia, or stuff that, like CBD or herbs. There's certain herbs that they have restrictions on. So I would stay away from anything that could be restricted or something that you could see being restricted over time. And I've done that before. Unfortunately, I've sold a lot in those categories before, and it's been nothing but headaches. I learned my lesson about 3 years ago to stop selling those gray area products, and I would definitely advocate to not sell those products to you guys. So
yeah, another thing to add on to that, if you want to talk about gray area or just things that cause issues, again, that I kind of forgot to add on here, supplements, nutritional,
definitely.
anything. I've seen people have
anything
a lot of
that's
issues with it.
consumable, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's like snacks or something that's like
I've sold some, but I don't like
can
it.
hold well over time. Something that would stay well in your pantry for 3 months to maybe 12 months, something like that, I would feel okay or more okay selling. But anything that can perish, plants, for example, those can perish. Anything that's perishable, I would stay away from. In supplements, right? Anything that people are putting into their body, I don't want to deal with that. Especially, guys, if you're not a legal business, if you are, you haven't even registered as an LLC, all of that liability is on you. So if you sell somebody a bad product and they ingest it and they get sick or their kid gets sick, the liability is on you. Okay, so I wouldn't want to open myself up to a potential lawsuit from a buyer like that. That really could get you guys in some big trouble. So just consider that when you're selling your products.
You also don't want a 161-ounce ranch dressing package showing up at your doorstep one day like we just did the other day.
It's true.
We've got a lot of ranch now, light ranch though, so it's not cool.
So we got 81 people watching. If you guys like that presentation, go ahead and smash that like button. We're going to get right over to your questions. I can see them adding up over here, but smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Thank you very much, Jason. So the first, what we got here, we got prod.snorkel says, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Wag says, what's up, guys? Jameson Griffith again says, smash that like button. He's the biggest advocate of smashing that like button. I appreciate it. Wag says, do you guys talk to a guy named Bunt on IG? And no. He's the one that I showed you the other day that has like all his like supercars and stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah. So, no, I do not. Steve Kwan says, can hear loud and clear, thank you. We were worried about that. Can hear you from Michigan. Can hear fine, awesome. So everybody can hear. Oh my God, thank you so much, guys. It's Giselle's on here.
Awesome.
There you go, Giselle. So message me on Facebook if we're friends, and then we can get everything else situated. Well, if not, we'll send you an email. But if you just message me on Facebook, it would be a lot easier.
That's awesome that she's on right now.
Yeah, that's sweet. Thank you very much. DTKN Productions, a little clap, Minnesota. What's up, guys? Here too. Oh, we got tons of people in here saying, how is your manual store doing, Tom, by the way, sales amount per month? Right now, I mean, my sales during the holiday season, the one main store that I've been showing all of you guys, it was up at, I think it hit like 68,000 in 30 days. I made the video about 60,000. It hit 65. And I have a picture of that. I believe it hit 67 or 68, and I didn't get a picture of it. It's fallen a little bit. I also haven't really listed on that store in forever.
What are you running at margins, profit margins?
The profit margins are 8% ish front end, and then when there's all the stacked shipping and everything like that, it ends up coming out to like 10%
So
after.
an effective 10%.
Yeah,
that's pretty
after
good.
everything. And
That's
then
pretty good.
so I haven't had my VAs listing on that store for a while now, probably since like mid-December, because they've been working on other tasks, and that store's been running on its own. It's about at 50,000 right now. I should probably start picking up the pace on it a bit, but there's been other projects coming around, opening up new wholesale stores to just make videos for the course, other things like that. Got my wholesale account up to 2 billion item limit today, so that could possibly be something that we might teach inside of the course. Basically, infinite item limits. Hopefully that holds up and nothing sketchy happens.
That's awesome.
And just other things like that. So that's where I'm at right now.
So Webinar K, he's in the house from Minnesota. Jameson Social says, nice to see you. What did he say? I have no idea what he said. Sean Shepard says, Tom, content is gold.
Thank you.
Barry DeHart, are these all retailer wholesale products? So that's something we actually didn't preface that PowerPoint with. They could be either, okay? I've seen a lot of wholesale suppliers in the camping, fishing, outdoors niche, but I've also used personally a lot of business and industrial wholesale suppliers, and Tom obviously has as well. And restaurant equipment, I know there's a ton of wholesale suppliers for restaurant equipment as well as retail companies too. So it's not exclusive to one or the other. Those are kind of broad categories that we've seen that sell really well on eBay. So if you guys are doing either either wholesale dropshipping or retail dropshipping, you guys could actually sell products from any of those categories and probably sell pretty well.
Yeah, so I have wholesalers for the majority of those categories as well, and retailers. It really just depends on what's going to be the better price. Sometimes your retailer is going to be a better price than your wholesaler, and that's just because they have extreme buying power, like a Walmart or other big stores out there. And it might be more advantageous. That's why we're saying, don't stop doing retail arbitrage at all, and I'm not going to stop doing retail arbitrage whatsoever. If anything, if you want to put wholesale onto your store, either make a different store, or you can just bring it into your retail store, and then you're kind of, I'd say, a little bit more safe on that store, because the fact that you have the retail on there, but you also have the wholesale suppliers to back yourself up if there are any issues that possibly come about.
It's all about diversifying your strategies, in my opinion. So, Tom says keep going with retail, and I say that too. I don't say you should exclusively do one model or the other.
No.
It's best to diversify and have multiple suppliers and multiple models and multiple streams of income, multiple product types, and that's why we always say to diversify. That's how you're going to be in this game for the long run.
Yep. So Jeff Burkhart says, I sold to Ford a battery charger. No kidding, yeah. So if I was to read all the people or the stores, it always says on Amazon, it's a lot easier to see, it says business customer. If I was to read all of those, I'm sure I'd be appalled at some of these customers or companies that, like, I literally sold soft serve mix to Dairy Queen. Like, why doesn't Dairy Queen have like a wholesale supplier?
It's very surprising.
Or some other food vendor that they're getting this from instead of Amazon.com. I've sold cones to other people. I sold stuff, maybe both Dairy Queen. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm always surprised by some of these companies that I'm selling to, like labs and stuff, pretty big labs that are well known throughout the United States that are buying products like filtration systems off of eBay. You'd expect that they have these wholesale contacts that I have, but I'm very surprised every single time some of them don't, and they're willing to go on eBay or Amazon and buy those products. Yeah.
So Carl Feldman is here. Webinar cases, Rigid doesn't come up. Vero was selling a bunch of it. It does come up Vero on the Vero checker, I believe. It's not on eBay's Vero list. But again, eBay's Vero list, one thing to just talk about eBay's Vero list real quick, you can type in eBay Vero list and then go to eBay's first thing, and then it says like search suppliers or something like that, or list of suppliers. On the right-hand side, I was there today. It doesn't have probably like maybe like a fourth of the actual amount of suppliers that have actually been reported for saying like these are Vero violations. Like, I know Joe Cox was talking to me today, and he said that he got one on one of his accounts, and the brand was nowhere on the Vero list at all, but it was on the Vero Checker Chrome extension for $2 a month. So it's definitely worth paying the $2 a month to get that Chrome extension. So
guys, anybody who's out here who's a beginner who's never heard of Vero, it stands for Verified Rights Owner.
Yeah.
And that's eBay's kind of like program to make sure that people's intellectual property, copyright, stuff like that is protected. So if you're a brand owner and you want to sell your products on eBay, you want to have some protections, and eBay puts this Vero program into place to protect those brand owners. So as dropshippers, we don't want to be reselling Vero products, and that's what Tom was talking about with the checker. We want to put in some safeguards to make sure that we're not selling Vero products on eBay's platform, because it can get our account in trouble.
So where were we? Ecom Tomcats here. Thank you very much. He says 32 days until spring. There you go.
We got our Hawaiian shirts on all
counting?
year round.
Yeah, that's summer though. He says inflatable rafts and etc. can be good. Yeah, it's very true. They do sell a decent amount. It's just, it's probably something I would stray away from nowadays after doing it for like 3 years. It's just, there could be issues with it, but they definitely do sell very well. Celeste Pimentel says, hi, I really wanted to drop ship bathtubs, ? I'm not sure if that was a question or a statement, but you can definitely do so if you find them on Walmart or Home Depot or any of them. You can definitely do so.
Have you ever drop shipped toilets or bathtubs or anything like that?
I literally did a bathtub insert type thing.
I'm
not sure if it was a full. If she's talking about full-blown bathtubs.
I was thinking of the old-fashioned like porcelain.
I'm sure you could. It's just like, again, that's freight. I
gonna be
still sell
heavy.
things that are freight. It's just a
little
lot
bit
of
of an
times I don't even
extra-
know they're going freight. Sometimes it's like a small item from one of my suppliers going freight for some reason.
Yeah, like they don't tell you till it's after it's
you're
already
not
shipped,
sure.
and you don't know.
Sometimes on like Walmart, if you're doing Walmart on eBay, we'll say this item ships freight every time.
Right.
But besides that, it's kind of up in the air.
So Barry said the video's blurry.
It's probably the connection issue.
I hope it's not
we're
still
watching
blurry.
Our
It
video
looks,
right
yeah,
now.
it looks pretty good from
Probably
here.
not completely in focus because we had to turn the camera off and back on.
So Skepsy TV says, "What's Tom always looking at on the right?" We have a monitor placed up here.
I have
so
a
that's where
tick. I have an evil tick.
That's where we read all your questions and comments. So
this is how we're seeing what you're saying to us. We can't just see through the ether here. Chloe right here says, "Can I switch from a private seller to a basic store eBay account, or do I have to open a new account as a private seller just to
I think
no
individual
store?"
seller.
Yeah, I mean you can just upgrade it. All you have to do is just upgrade your account to the basic store. It's like $28 per month, I think, or $27.95. One thing I always tell people, if you're upgrading to a store, is do not do the yearly plan right off the bat, because first off, a basic store, it's not very advantageous to have past about 400 items or so. You would want to go up to the, what's the medium one again? The premium plan, is that what it's called? That's about $75 a month. So if you pay for the whole year, then you have to pay money to get out of that contract, or you have to, just eat that cash that you paid for the whole year. Yeah. So don't do that. Go monthly, even though it is more expensive. It's going to seem advantageous to not go monthly, but I'm going to tell you, I've heard of many, many, many times of people having extreme issues and paying upwards of hundreds of dollars in order to get up into the next tier just so they could pay more money afterwards.
Right. And, I also recommend you to get a store, because right now, if you're not a store, if you haven't subscribed to a store, you're paying higher final value fees than Tom or I, who do have stores. We pay 9.15% on the final value fees.
At the most.
And that's at the most. Certain categories is lower, like eBay Motors, but you're going to be paying on average 10% final value fees.
No, it is 10. It's 10.
So you're going to want to definitely upgrade if you're doing any sort of volume. If you're not doing volume, then stay at where you're at. But over time, you should get to a point where you're a store subscription.
I think right off the bat, you should have a store subscription. That's just me. If you want to take this seriously, I think you should get one right away. Zane says, "Hey guys, what do you think of using the top 3 as a supplier, Amazon, Walmart, and Home Depot?" I feel like we've answered this question every week for the last 2 years. Amazon, we haven't used that at all. There are some ways to use Amazon, but I'm not going to go into them. I talk about it inside of the course. And that'll probably keep you safe. And then Walmart and Home Depot, I still don't think that there's many issues with it. I do think that there are some extra precautions that you're going to need to be taking, like listing very slowly. I have a video that's coming out probably next week where I created a new account for the wholesale course, but it could be for anything. I just created a new account. I listed 5 items from a wholesale supplier because they only gave me 5 item limit. Well, first off, I got banned on that account. So that whole video is coming out this week, how I got banned and how I got unbanned on that account. And then afterwards, there's going to be how to get the limit raised. Literally, it went, you got banned, you bought a store, you got banned.
Immediately.
You got unbanned, then you bought a store again. So I ended up paying more money because I got the store twice. So I guess I screwed myself over following my own rules of getting a store right off the bat. But then I got a limit raise immediately right after.
Yeah, that's a new video coming out this week.
And now my limits are at 2 billion.
Cool.
So what was I going to say? I do think they started asking me questions about like why my items have just stock photos, and I kind of just said that they came from my wholesale supplier. The guy was asking a lot more questions than I expected, so feel it out for yourself. I do believe that you should still be fine. You just have to play it properly.
Did you freeze up on the phone? Did you get nervous?
No, I never freeze.
Okay,
I never
good.
falter.
Good.
No, I mean it definitely caught me off guard though. But I was fine. So
Music Mix says if we drop ship from Amazon, what about the box and tape says Amazon on it?
don't do it. Just don't.
We've talked about this a lot in the past too. So what you're asking about is a situation that really doesn't happen too often, which is where the buyer complains about either an invoice or the packaging, right? If it comes in an Amazon Prime box, and you're asking, will the customer get mad effectively? No, it only happens in about 1 out of 1,000. Tom and I have seen that statistic. 1 in 1,000 people will complain about a situation where the box comes and it's not blind drop shipping. Some people call it blind drop shipping, where it's just sold or sent to the customer in a generic brown box with no invoice, no packaging material, no promotional material. It's called blind drop shipping. It's really not a big deal, guys. Don't worry about that.
You can even do fulfillment of Amazon for your eBay orders. Like that's another thing that Amazon allows. You can just have your items in Amazon. They don't have to go out for Amazon sales. They can go out for other forms or marketplace type sales. So, the fact that somebody's getting an Amazon box at their store, at their house, probably isn't too surprising to them nowadays. And again, not very many people complain. Even if, max, best case scenario, you put the gift invoice in there. But besides that,
Yeah, he's talking about mark it as a gift. If you're able to go through checkout and click a little box that says mark this as a gift, what that indicates to the supplier is do not include an invoice or a packing slip inside the package, and that way the customer won't see the price of the item. So that's one way of mitigating it a little bit. But again, guys, it's not really that important. It's a kind of a limiting factor in my.
But again, don't be
belief.
using Amazon onto eBay unless you know really how to do it. And I don't even suggest doing it no matter what. I haven't done it for over a year now. I can finally say over a year now. Probably about 13 and a half months.
Yeah, but we get that question about like all the suppliers.
Yeah, any of the suppliers.
So don't worry about it so much, guys. Really, it's a small thing.
So Barry DeHart says, what about adult items? Do you want to answer that question?
I've actually sold in
Jason loves his adult items.
Novelties, whatever you want to call it, adult novelties. And actually, there are some pretty decent wholesale suppliers. But the thing with adult products is you have to make sure that you're listing them in the correct category. If you miscategorize them, if you put them in the wrong category, then eBay is going to close down that listing, and it's just a big hassle because you go up and make all these beautiful listings, and then all of a sudden eBay takes them down, or you get your account suspended or temporarily restricted because you did miscategorization. So you can sell those products, no problem. There is a demand. It's not the biggest demand in the world. Like those categories we were showing earlier in the PowerPoint, those are some of the bigger demand products. But yeah, you can make money. It's just make sure you put them into the correct category. And on eBay, there's an adult category. It's plus 18.
Don't you need to be selling for a certain amount of time on your account?
They do have some restrictions. You have to be selling on your account for, I want to say, 60 days or 90 days. You have to have above standard on your account as far as your metric health goes. There's a couple of other little things, but it's not anything to write home about.
So where are we here? Stephen Kwan says, what about auto parts and detail products? I honestly think auto parts would be good. I don't think I've sold too many of them in the past. I just really don't have a supplier that I use personally at the moment that is really big into it, but it's definitely, it fits into the business and industrial type niche. It's the eBay Motors. A lot of the new items from one of my wholesale suppliers I'm adding up is eBay Motors, but it's not for auto parts, for other types of parts. But I do think that goes right under like the dad niche. Like there's going to be dads buying all sorts of different auto parts off their
old car,
repairing their Toyota 1996 Toyota Camry or something like that.
What's the final value fees for eBay Motors? Is like 4 or 5%.
No, it's the same. It's 9.15.
I thought eBay Motors was one of the lowest.
No, I think there's specific. Maybe no, I don't know.
If
Maybe
anybody's
there's
out here
specific
selling eBay
categories.
Motors and you know what the final value fees on eBay Motors, let me know,
I
because
think
I'm pretty
there's
sure it's
specific
low.
categories that are different. But then there's electronics and like cell phones is only 4% or something like that. Where are we? Celeste says, is it a good idea in pet supply? I had a good idea in pet supplies, but what do you recommend the next step? I mean, list the items would probably be the next step if they're good. I'm not sure what the question is here. I've heard of people doing well with pet supplies. Honestly, it's not my cup of tea. But personally, I feel like nowadays I like to list items that I kind of like the item. I don't know why, or at least feel kind of more just connected to that item, like the business and industrial. I like that stuff.
You have a
Pet
genuine
supplies,
passion or interest in
yeah,
a
like more of an
niche,
interest
yeah.
in knowing what it
Yeah.
is, or I can look at these parts now and know what's going to be the better ones, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Pet supplies.
Watch out for Chewy, guys.
Yeah.
Don't
Oh, yeah,
drop ship
Chewy.
from Chewy. Chewy is one of those companies. They're really big right now. They're emerging. They're trying to like brand themselves as the Amazon of pet products, pet supplies, but they do not like drop shippers. They've made it well known that they don't like drop shippers. So I would stay far away from Chewy personally.
Yep. What are we? MMA something says, as a beginner, what are the first steps I should be doing? You should watch every video on this YouTube channel and then come back on the next live next week. Honestly, just start slowly, watch a bunch of YouTube videos. Just create your account. Don't be afraid to take action on it. I've seen a lot of people get analysis by paralysis, or paralysis by analysis. That's what it is. By just just thinking too much about it. I heard this, I heard that. If you sit in the Facebook groups, you're going to hear 7 different answers for the same question, all contradicting themselves. So you kind of got to figure it out by doing. You can watch the YouTube videos and learn as much as possible.
Check out our free mini course. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, free mini course down in the bio. Link down in the description.
Check that out. It's good for beginners, guys.
Daniel Zenlevich says, did I hear a ranch giveaway? I should do a ranch giveaway. I don't want to eat all that ranch dressing.
How much do you still have left?
There's like 3 more rows of ranch dressing.
God.
I haven't even finished the first row.
I don't even like ranch, so I'm not going to help him eat that.
It's light ranch. I
hate ranch. So Blanca says, hi. Princess is in the house. She says, hi, finally caught up to you guys. How's it going? Music Mix says, thank you. Mari says, I am dropshipping about 2 years, and this year is horrible. I'm using TrackerBot, but I think I'm still flagged, so I'm going to begin wholesale dropshipping, but there is one big problem. I'm not in US, as in I'm not in the USA. That's not the biggest problem in the world. First of all, we have a lot of international students who are actually killing it. They're doing very, very well. And also something that I'm going to be addressing in the new wholesale dropshipping course that is supposed to be releasing in March, the end of March. I'm going to be talking about how internationals can do wholesale dropshipping. It is not exclusive to US students only. While it is easier for US students, it is not exclusive. There are things that you can do to actually have a US-based business, get accepted by US-based wholesale distributors, and then go and sell on eBay.com. So it is not exclusive to them. I'm sorry your account isn't doing well. I'm not sure what you're talking about with TrackerBot. If your account is flagged, we always say just open up a new account. You are innocent.
And there's tons of videos on the channel where I talk about how to know if it's flagged or not. That's about it. TrackerBot, I don't think TrackerBot, even with the API, would probably get you flagged, but I'm not going to do it just to test it out. I really don't want to. I don't want to figure it out the hard way.
Right.
So Barry to Heart says, what is the ROI you're suggesting? I mean, if you're talking about, there's a return on investment, so I guess the investment would be like you buying the item, technically. I mean, profit percentage, we're going like 10% front end would be the best possible profit percentage. Or not the best, but like the consistent that you want to be aiming for.
Yeah, I think he's asking about like net profit. Or something.
Or if you're talking about ROI, like what you're buying, how much you're spending actually, it's going to be a bit higher because it's, the profit based off of how much you actually bought the item for. Just go for 10% front end profit margin.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet. So we have a question that says, what suppliers would you recommend for these types of products? Walmart, Lowe's, etc. We have in our manual eBay dropshipping course, we have a list of the top 20 vetted suppliers, and we talk all about that in the course. We're not just going to give out all of the suppliers that we recommend, but there's a lot of them in there. Those are obscure retail suppliers that we talk about. The wholesale course that will be coming out is going to be specifically on wholesale suppliers. Most of you guys have probably never heard of these suppliers because they're not that well known. They're not like nationally recognized companies, but even some of the obscure retail suppliers, they're not really nationally recognized.
No, not at all.
They only, like one of them that we have in the course only has one fulfillment center out of St. Paul, Minneapolis, Minnesota, somewhere in Minnesota. So yeah,
You just gave it away, dude. You literally just gave it away.
I mean, if they go and
Walmart,
find it based on that, then good for them.
Lowe's,
That means that they're detectives.
Home Depot, things like that, and then others. So how can I? What is a long one? How can I take reseller license when I'm out of the U.S.? And which of your courses is about this? And how much is price for course? Thanks, Buoys. You are the best in the business. Does that say Buoys?
Yeah,
is
I
actually
think
how
they
you
meant
spell
boys.
Buoys. So I'm not sure what this question is really about here. Reseller license, are you talking about your resale certificate, getting an EIN number? If you're outside the United States, you can in fact get an EIN number. You need to get an ITIN number first, and then you can end up getting your EIN number afterwards. I'm not sure what the whole process is. We have somebody in both of our courses, our Amazon and our eBay course, that does do that for international people for a nominal, small fee of like, I think it's $200 on it. Well, it wouldn't make sense for us to do it for you guys because we've never had to do it, and I couldn't find myself ever figuring out how to do it because I'm not from outside of the United States.
Sure.
So after that, take a reseller license when I'm out of the U.S., switch course. So that's, I mean, I guess that's it. If you're looking for an EIN number, then you get that. After that, you can get your sales tax ID in that state, and then then fill out the resale certificate with the multi-jurisdiction form or whatever your supplier ends up giving you. If you're talking wholesale, I'm not fully sure what that question is really asking
just
here.
kind of give us a little bit more information there. So Rob Darden says, I'm located in China.
That's a weird Chinese name, Rob Darden.
Maybe he's a digital
kidding.
nomad. Rob, I hope you're doing okay. I know the coronavirus is going pretty pandemic over there. I'm located in China and ready to get started. I have to use a VPN. Have you seen eBay flag accounts using a VPN? I don't use a VPN for eBay. I haven't had to go stealth, but I know a lot of people do use stealth and they use VPNs for their stealth accounts. So I wouldn't imagine a VPN is going to get you flagged or your account suspended or anything. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think it matters. If you want to be super secure about it, you could just use what is it called? The dedicated VPN or whatever?
Static. It's called a static dedicated VPN.
So that you get your own IP address.
On IP Burger, that's one of the ones that's one that I use for Amazon Stealth. So you just type in static dedicated VPN, and that's how to have like an extra layer protection.
It'll be your own IP address instead of a VPN company that's just
dynamically changing.
That's just throwing like 500 people under the same IP address, or however many people that want to come through that IP address can. It just gives you your own, like you are your own person with your own IP. Nobody else uses it, but it's not your IP. It's kind of just one out there in the ether.
Right. So Wag says, do you guys make a new PayPal business account for every eBay store made on eBay? No, absolutely
That'd be
not.
absolutely terrible.
We've talked about this a lot of times, guys. When you make a new eBay account, you can connect your existing PayPal account to that new eBay account. You guys are worried about some cross-linking, or if your account was flagged, now they're going to flag your new account because they cross-linked it based on the PayPal account. That is not the case. You are innocent until proven guilty. Until you demonstrate to eBay that you are now dropshipping from Amazon Prime again, they're not going to flag you, okay? So just keep that in mind. You guys can go and actually start multiple new eBay accounts using the same PayPal account. I think I have 5 or 6 accounts, eBay accounts on one PayPal account.
I have more than that. The only issue I ran into recently with creating new accounts is that they called me out that my phone number was on more than 3 accounts, and supposedly that's a rule now that you can't have your phone number on more than 3 accounts. So thank God we have more than enough phones here in this apartment. So I just used a different phone, and I just have to call in from that one now. So next question here is, how can you avoid getting banned from eBay? It's a pretty widespread question here. Just, be better in general. No, just you have to take things as serious as possible with this business. You need to grow slowly and really just make sure that you're not making mistakes that are easily avoidable if you were to watch all of the YouTube videos that are out there or buy a course or anything like that, where if you just go on eBay, list 5 items, don't have them connected to any repricer at all. All of a sudden somebody buys your items because they're out of stock at your supplier. You can't figure out how to get them, so you cancel them all for being out of stock, and then you go below standard and probably get banned. You want to avoid easy situations to avoid like that, But you just need to be diligent in everything that you're doing. There's too many possible different steps at which you could mess up, I feel, that, you can't answer that question in just like one go here, unless there's a more specific follow-up point to that question about how you got banned.
Yeah. All right, so next question comes from Riley Witt.
I think Riley came a little late here.
Riley says, so what are the eBay items or the items that we went over? Go ahead and rewatch this live. We went over that right at the beginning. We put a PowerPoint together of all the categories, subcategories, niches that we kind of sell in and have done really well on eBay.
All right, so we have a lot of questions left still, and we got 15 minutes left here. So 82 people watching. If you like the content we provided so far, please be sure to smash that like button. We're going to try to speed up a little bit here because there's a lot more people on than regular, and we're getting a ton of questions. So I got a Vero strike before. As long as you've got one and you're fine, just make sure to not list that brand again, and you're good to go.
I had over
most
50
likely.
Vero strikes in 1 month back in the day.
Yeah, they're being a lot more.
They're being more strict about it,
but
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Okay?
So Ray Tech says, I heard that eBay allows dropshipping from AliExpress and does not consider them retailers. It's an age-old question here. I've heard of people sending in AliExpress invoices after getting in trouble and getting banned after it. People talk very highly of AliExpress. Personally, me and Jason and I don't deal with it at all. I've never sold an item from China dropshipped onto eBay, and I don't think you have either, right?
No.
So, we don't suggest that. There's just multiple pitfalls in that business model, and we don't want to deal with it. My thoughts on eBay these days, that they are going downhill, and there are a lot better new platforms out there, a lot better. Check them out.
Name one more besides Amazon that's a better marketplace existing right now. That's a better marketplace. I can't think. You're going to say Mercari, Etsy. Like, there's nobody out there. Bonanza's market share is nothing. None of those other places don't really offer up. Facebook Marketplace, none of these really have that much of a market presence. They really don't. So, I actually made a video about this recently, and I was like, I always get this question that eBay's a failing business, eBay's not doing as well as Amazon. Amazon's out-competing eBay, there's no doubt about that. But they still have so much market share, guys. They're literally millions of dollars going through eBay every single day, week, month, all the time. There's tons of money being going through there, tons of items being drop shipped. So I want to get that misconception out of your mind.
Jason just went off on that one. So the next question here is from Sharon Cassidy. Hey, great to find your channel. I'm trying to get back into eBay. My first eBay sale was a 65-inch curved broken TV. Learning curve. Tom, I have to say, I remember you from wrestling. Were you from Billerica? Did you remember me from wrestling? That's funny. But yeah, I mean, that goes with, if you were here at the beginning of the live, that really goes into the PowerPoint of not selling electronics. It is a learning curve. Like you said, you realize it became broken. There's just also, that's a very expensive TV, and I've seen people that, or I'm assuming a very expensive TV, and I've seen a lot of people try to scheme the whole electronics thing, saying it never came or anything like that, and they try to get it free. It's really just not a game I like to play.
Right.
So Barry DeHart says, for Wholesale, any thoughts on companies such as Wholesale to be? I feel like he's literally asked this question before. About Wholesale
that has come up.
We haven't looked into Wholesale to be very much, or I haven't at least. I'm not sure what your idea is on it. But I believe it. To me, it doesn't seem like it's a great one. I think it's one of those like Latopia or whatever. I'm not
honestly,
sure.
I haven't really looked into them too much. I believe they're a dropship aggregator. I believe, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't done any research too much on them. So we'll move on to the next question from Steve Kwan. He says, who are the suppliers that do not accept sales tax exempt like Lowe's? Can you tell us off the top of your head?
Honestly, no. I mean, there's Lowe's, I don't think does, but then there's Lowe's for Pros, which does. And then, is there going to be more shipping or not? Steve, I'm pretty sure you're in the course, so I'm not going to be naming any of the suppliers from inside of the course. And, at that point, just call them up or just message their little online chat support, because most of them have online chat supports now. And from there, you'll be able to figure it out.
We got John Arducci giving us some tech
We're not very tech
there.
savvy, as you can
Thank
tell.
you. Actually,
I can't even type without looking at the
I'm fairly
keyboard.
certain he was correct on
I don't think the autofocus is on. It might be though, honestly. Differential equations, my favorite math class, says, how how to stay more hidden while doing retail arbitrage. I got a violation notice, and I'm no longer eligible for top seller program. I'm assuming you're probably using Amazon as a supplier in some way, shape, or form. If so, then just don't do that, because that's why almost every single one of those that I've ever seen is because people are using Amazon as a supplier.
Yeah, so Steve Kwan says, should I use my own photos then if stock photos get flagged like that?
If your stock photos are getting flagged, I mean, most likely that brand is coming after your photos. I've seen people with copyright image violations or anything like that. There's no point in you trying to, are you going to buy the product and then return it? Are you going to go into Walmart store yourself and take the pictures? I mean, at that point, you might as well just try to find other items.
At that point, you might as well buy the items and hold them yourself and resell them.
Yeah, but then you still might even get hit with some form of,
right.
Some form of error if that brand's going to go as far.
It defeats the purpose of drop shipping if you're going out there getting pictures of your own, the products. It's a big hassle. I wouldn't do it myself. So Alviso says, where to buy discounted gift cards? We do not really endorse any discounted gift card companies. That's not a route that either of us have taken. If you really think about it, where have they got their discounted gift cards 5-10% off? Walmart, Home Depot. Most likely it is from fraud. Do you want to be associated, even if you're further down the line in the fraud, do you really want to be basing your business off of something like that? And also, it's very hard to get consistent gift cards with that heavy discount, high discount. I really don't want to be involved with that, so I'm not going to give you any helpful hints on discounted gift cards.
So the next question says, how do I get holds off my account? And if you're talking about a PayPal hold, or if you're in PayPal jail, it's most likely because your account is new, and within the first 90 days, PayPal, usually 90 days, and then you have to do, I think, 100 sales in that time frame, PayPal will hold your money until the tracking number that you uploaded shows delivered, and then usually the day afterwards, you'll get your money back. So there's really no beating around that situation. I've heard of people saying that there's ways around it. I never even watched the videos. I didn't give them the time of day, but just like, take that as a reason to take your business slowly and learn it, and not just try to exponentiate your sales without really having any back-end processes or anything put together at all. So,
sure.
Do you help UK eBay dropshippers? I mean, we have a decent amount in the course, right?
Yeah.
We have more UK dropshippers in the course than Canadian.
About 10% of our course is UK, so.
We don't do anything like specific for the people in the UK. Anything inside of the course is going to pretty much be replicable into the UK. There's just things with taxes and the VAT and things like that. I have no idea. And different suppliers. We don't have good UK suppliers in the course, but we do teach how to find good suppliers, so you can take those methods and bring them with you.
Yeah, it's really the principles and the methodology that's taught in the course. A lot of our UK students, Australian students, international students that are doing really, really well, and it's just because they follow those steps and the principles that are outlined in the course. It's not so much, we focus on this country, we focus on that country. It's more about understanding the fundamentals. So Greg Endham says, great material. Thanks again. Thanks, Greg, for showing up. We have another question. Amazon doesn't include any invoices or packing slip. If you check gift, they will have to include a paper gift invoice, and that's what we were talking about earlier. If you're drop shipping from your supplier,
trying to say that if you don't check gift, then they're not going to put anything in there. Which honestly might be true. I'm really not sure. I don't do it.
Like I said earlier, if you're on your suppliers, it doesn't matter if it's Amazon or another supplier. If they have the gift, the gift receipt available, just go ahead and click that, or have your virtual assistant click that, because that way the invoice won't show up in the box.
So Jeff said, did you say you uploaded an update to the SKU grid in the course? Yes, about a month ago. Music Mix says, what do you guys think of Dropship with Costco? It's probably not too shabby. What should be the max you sell in your first month? Honestly, nowadays, I'd say stay under like $3,500 and really just try to learn everything properly, and then just go from there, because it seems like they're definitely cracking down more. And if you make any real mistakes in the first month or so, there's a high likelihood that you might get an MC011 or something like that, and you want to be avoiding that. and just at all costs.
So Chloe AR says, I'm based in European Union / Greece, planning to sell worldwide. Is it worth it to buy your course, or is it tailored for US sellers only? We addressed that already. It is not only for US sellers. We have many international students who are doing very well. The principles, the concepts are all outlined in the course. Everything is in there for you to succeed as a drop shipper, okay?
So we got prod.snorkel again says, do you use VAs for all of your fulfillments? Yes, I have a virtual assistant order every single item that I've sold over the last probably more than 365 days. You cannot be sitting there and doing this on your own. It's such a mundane task. It's literally copying and pasting names. Like anybody can you can teach a 4-year-old to copy and paste names. So it's not something you should be spending. If you're running a business and you're spending the time copying and pasting names into another address form, that's a waste of your time if you're supposed to be the one running this business.
Especially if you could pay somebody from a third world country $2.50 an hour to do it. I mean, seriously, that's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
So Steve says, are there any suppliers who do blind drop shipping for us on SKUGrid?
I'm sure there are.
I'm almost 100% sure there are, since there is like 700 something integrated suppliers with SKUGrid. But again, guys, do not get focused on blind drop shipping. It is overrated. It's unnecessary. 1 in 1,000 people actually will complain if their package comes in and it's got some sort of promotional material, the invoice, stuff like that. Don't worry about blind drop shipping.
Yeah. So Oyatola says, do you guys have your items delivery in 1 to 3 day range and take advantage of the further reduced final value fee discount eBay offers for if you're a top rated seller? So top rated plus do we do that? No, because you have to have a 1 day or same day handling time, and not many suppliers can actually achieve that. I'm sure the one I use on Amazon probably could achieve that, but in reality, it's just not worthwhile to have all those extra headaches. You're going to have some pretty advanced systems in place, or more in-depth systems in place, to literally have somebody probably on the clock 24/7 ordering your items, or have some form of automation or something in general that will do this for you, because if you only have like 1 day to do so.
Right. If you have any hiccups, if you have one bad day, you're gonna lose that. You're gonna
to get 1% off your final value fee. It's 1% off the final value fee. It's not 1% extra profit margin in general. It's going to be 1% off the final value fee, which ends up coming out to like 0.915% extra savings. In reality, I'm not doing it.
It's really small for the amount of time.
You'll probably make more sales though. But again, it's just it would be quite the process to actually have that, and not in-house, doing that through drop shipping.
So E1 Zeno says, I drop ship on eBay UK, and I finally started to use SKUGrid manually after a year, and my impressions and queues dropped by 70% for 2 days after I removed all file exchange links, came back to normal. Okay. And then goes on to say, do you think I should add the softwares back?
You probably set the software up wrong, and then just put all your items out of stock or something. I'm not sure. I can guarantee you that using the manual SKUGrid or the SKUGrid file exchange, whether using the token or the Chrome extension, will not get your account flagged at all. I can guarantee you that, because I've been using it for well over a year now and nothing's happened.
Right.
This is all caps. This is a serious one.
Okay. So Treybucks or Trabuck says, have you heard of Furniture Pipeline?
You have to say it like he's yelling.
I'm not going to yell. Have you heard of Furniture Pipeline, and do you use them? I have not heard of Furniture Pipeline.
No,
have you? No?
Never heard of them.
Oh.
They might
I might have to check them out after.
So we got Benny here. Thank you very much for showing up, Benny. He says, as a beginner, buy the course. Best money you will spend. It'll save you hundreds of hours. So thank you very much, Benny, for the testimonial in here. Benny's very dedicated. He was on our group coaching and everything. He's the one that's putting in the work, and he's going to be seeing the results from it.
Yeah. So Celeste says, I had a new invitation for invention for a dog. But what's the next step?
Honestly,
inventions. Yeah, with an invention, you're probably gonna have to go and have it done really professionally. There's lawyers that help do that stuff, and you're gonna want to have patents, utility patent and stuff like that. And then you're gonna probably get ripped off by the Chinese, because they're great at reverse engineering and ripping off and making generic versions of anything that's really innovative on the market. So. Yeah, I'd definitely.
We're the wrong guys to ask for that one. Moon Peach Blossom, which is Giselle, who won the giveaway, says, guys, please save this video. Don't worry, YouTube will do it for us. Oh my God, there's a lot more questions.
It's all right. We'll get through them. We're powering through. We're at the 5 o'clock mark, or 5 o'clock Eastern time. Guys, if you're still watching this, smash that like button. Subscribe to the
5
channel.
5 o'clock Pacific time.
That's what I said.
You
5
said
o'clock.
Eastern. Hello, I am new in dropshipping, but I pay sales tax when I order the product, and also seller pays sales tax, who are automatically taken by eBay. Can I get my sales tax back? I'm not a U.S. person. You could maybe try to get it back from your supplier. The best thing you're going to want to do here is get tax exempt, because it's going to be very hard to get it back from your supplier.
Yes,
I've heard of
true.
it maybe being possible, but it's not a
You
not
want
a
to
definite
fix
here.
this long term, go ahead and get tax exempt. So Saeed says, is there still TerraPeak API to use other tool instead of TerraPeak?
I've never used
TerraPeak. That was like eBay's
Zik Analytics.
thing.
Use Zik
Yeah.
Analytics. They bought TerraPeak, and it's obviously a terrible program.
So Pete Carter, or Pell Carter, says, just jumping on the video tonight, when is your wholesale course coming out? How much? So I haven't come up with a price. Tom and I have not come up with a price. But behind the scenes, I am working tirelessly almost every single day, putting out new videos for this course. It's very long. It's very in-depth. It's going to be the best course out there. I don't even think anybody else has a wholesale dropshipping course at the moment. So this is going to be a very unique course for you guys. And it's looking like it's going to be coming out either mid-March or very end of March. It will not go past April Fool's Day, and that's not a joke. So let's keep going through these questions. Tom, you got the next one.
Monthea Trey says, international persons don't need an ITIN to receive an EIN. See, I don't even know. I'm not an international, like I said. I received mine in less than 30 minutes. I don't have an ITIN, but everything is on the internet, and I did my research, received my EIN hassle-free directly from the IRS. There you go. So if you look it up and use the Google machine, you'll be able to figure it out. Waiting your videos or lives about international, I don't even know what that means. When we call eBay after first restriction, can we say that we are wholesale? Just say wholesale. Don't talk about drop shipping, really. It's just, you never know who the person on the other side of the phone is and how new they are, or they might misrepresent what you're saying if they're from the Philippines or anything like that. Just say wholesaling.
So Oyatola says, for the person using TrackerBot, it's one thing that gets you flagged according to a Facebook group. Okay, anything that a Facebook group says, I'm definitely skeptical of. Yeah. It was also confirmed using Blue Care Express, indicated Amazon onto eBay, so don't use them.
Yeah, I mean, don't use Blue Care Express. We never said to use that at all. Me personally, I'm not sure if TrackerBot will solely get you banned or flagged, but again, I said I'm not going to attempt to do it. So, or TrackerBot API, there's non-API related TrackerBot, which you can use, and it does work. Ola, guys, I went over the VA course, and I have to say it's very helpful. You're welcome, Emprendedor Extremo. I have a quick question. What eBay lister software would you recommend besides SKUGrid? I recommend SKUGrid besides SKUGrid. There's no other that I recommend. Asaroth Goddess says, is having the same address on different eBay accounts bad? No, I've had the same address. I've had different addresses. I've had addresses that I'm not sure why they accepted. I've had multiple addresses. You're all good there.
So Aiden Joyce says, evening chaps. How's it going, Aiden? Guys, I'm new to the channel. Can you answer this? No offense intended. What are you guys selling? No offense taken. What is your goal here on this live stream? So the goal
we actually gave away stuff on this live stream.
The goal was to educate and inform fellow dropshippers in the dropshipping community about some products and industries, niches that we've sold very well on the eBay marketplace, and that's really the entire premise.
And to give away $500 and a free
and to give away that free coaching.
Giselle,
she won. Congratulations! If you're still watching, we're looking forward to that one-on-one coaching. Although I will not be on there. Tom will.
No, you'll be in the background, dude. You're gonna sit through it too. Hi, can I use Amazon Business Prime for dropshipping? No. Exactly. Amazon, eBay, and then ... She was talking about you going off about how eBay's the best, or the second best. If I purchase your wholesale course, would I get your retail sources as well? No. So I'm just starting, and I have everything set up, and it should be as it should be. But there are two things I'm having a hard time with. How do you find lower cost items with free shipping so you aren't paying out of the pocket? That was only one thing. I mean, you can use any of the suppliers that we talk about for free on this channel, or use the suppliers that are inside of the course. Again, if there's a will, there's a way. It's out there.
That's very true. So K-Tob says, thanks for telling me this information. You're welcome. I'm happy we provided you some value. Wally Key says, CWR seems to be a saturated wholesaler. All their products have like 100 people selling them on eBay. Any ideas about how to be competitive other than by price? So I mean, Tom, you want to set the record straight?
The one wholesale supplier I make a video about on YouTube. Obviously, it's not going to be the best wholesale supplier out there. Let's be honest here. If I'm going to be putting that on YouTube, it's probably not going to be the number one. But there's definitely not 100 people selling every single item out there. All you need to do is price competitively.
Seems to be an exaggeration.
No, 100 people. That's just outrageous. And just price competitively. If there's 26,000 items on that supplier. I literally looked at it today. If you can't make a sale with it, then I don't know what to tell you. But with this method, if you're going to be doing the CWR and the other possible wholesalers out there, you're going to need more items listed. You're going to need a way to do it in bulk, and you're going to need a way to do it, efficiently, effectively, and quickly. And we're going to be teaching all of that.
So the last Katrabux, he's already asked that question. Barry DeHart says, where's the link for the wholesale dropshipping course? There is no link because the course is not out yet. I promise you, Barry, when we launch this course, you'll be the first one to know. I will give you that link personally.
Weapon RK took the shot asking a question, and he, shoot or shoot here. He said, oh geez, what happened? Will you offer the wholesale course at a discount to the current retail eBay course students? Worth a shot asking. Yes, we most likely will. I'm not even sure what the price of the course is yet, so we can't give you a discount on it. Or give you an idea of a discount on it, but there will be one. Hello guys, thanks for the information. My question is, do you guys use the apps on eBay to enhance your store? No. I'm not sure eBay has very many good apps.
No, they don't.
They have Terapeak, and that might be the best one. Besides that, if you go into that eBay whatever app store, you're gonna find ones from like 2006 that were made like Microsoft Paint.
So Dropbox says it's a wholesale supplier of furniture. He's talking about Furniture Pipeline. I'm gonna steal that wholesale supplier from you.
All the items.
No, I won't
be able to make any money with it.
Maybe somebody else on this live will, but I
was the giveaway done already? Yes. Sorry, Bianca.
The winner is Giselle. I forgot what her last name was, but Giselle Valdez. Yeah. Giselle is the winner. Sorry, Blanca, you did not win. As always, next time.
Hi, guys. Thank you guys. Great information. You're welcome. Thank you very much for showing up. Sup, guys? Stephen Hangs here right at the end. Thanks for showing up. Stephen's a student that does very well. Do you also provide help for international seller getting them set up with tax exemption LLC formation of an? We literally answered this question. Yes. The person's inside of the course. Hi, I'm from Germany. Thank you for showing up, Herbal Collection. Looking forward to getting into wholesale or whole shipping. You call it what you call it. There you go.
There you go.
That's great. We're excited to get the course out and get more information out on it on YouTube and everything else like that.
Seems to be a lot of hype around
Jason's been doing it for a while, so
yeah.
What's going on with the Joe Cox? With Joe Cox, he back? I mean, I talked to him today. He's around. He's alive. He's kicking. He's selling on platforms and making money. I mean, I'm not sure what else there is. Wonderful vid, guys. You're welcome, Weapon RK. Ecom Tonga says, I just Googled Furniture Pipeline. It looks like Furniture Pipeline has a wholesale dropshipping program. They have a wholesale application right on their website. Thank you, Ecom Tomcat. I was wondering, are Google Ads helpful for eBay sales or no need for it?
No.
Do not waste your money. That's a large waste of money unless your margins are huge. And doing this method, you will not have the margins as high as that. So
yeah, it's definitely
won't be worthwhile. So thank you all for showing up. Do you have any other last minute announcements here? We'll say the coupon, if you are interested in getting the course at $200 off, the coupon will still be live for a couple more days, but the giveaway has already happened, so we're not doing a second giveaway, but you can still get a discount off if you are interested. So that link, I believe, is pinned to a comment somewhere.
It says like a Valentine's Day special or something, so save $200 on the Amazon or eBay course. It's up to you guys. Again, congratulations to Giselle.
There you go.
And I hope that she enjoys that one-on-one coaching date with you. I thank everybody for coming out today. I'm
gonna get some candles and some roses.
We got 74 people who stuck it out and watched this whole thing. Tom and
only 52 likes, so I need everybody right now to smash that like button.
Smash that like button,
guys.
We'll
get it out to as many people as possible. Hopefully, all the the item categories that we basically only sell in helped you guys out at the beginning of this video, and answering all your questions. We hope that we were helpful. So thank you guys very much. and we will see you in the next live.